Those kids walked out of those homes. No one pulled them out. No one forced.
Weapons tricked me. I went in expecting chaos, jump scares, twists, maybe even something supernatural, but what I got instead was a slow, a heavy, and a very unnerving movie with lots of tension. Before we get into today's movie review, this is part of my 25 days of Christmas movie marathon, where I'll be dropping a new review every single day this month. And today's movie is Weapons, a movie that was nothing like I was expecting. Weapons starts like a mystery, a story about violence and how people deal with fear, but what it turns into is something completely different. It's not a slasher, it's not a psychological horror in the way you'd expect. Every frame adds tension, but it's quiet tension. It's the kind that builds up throughout the whole movie, and that's what the movie does really well. The film doesn't want to scare you, and it wants to make you very uncomfortable, and it's so confident in its pacing that even when nothing's happening, you can't look away. And I think that's where some people might check out, because this movie isn't begging for your attention. It's not rushing to explain itself. It's not holding your hand. It just sits in the moment and lets you feel whatever that moment brings. And depending on how you like to watch movies or what kind of movies you typically watch, that's either going to be really engaging or really frustrating. I'm not a huge horror fan, but the first thing I want to mention is the cast. Everyone fits perfectly, nobody feels wasted, and even the smallest characters have an actual purpose. That's another thing that helps Weapons feel so cohesive. Despite its strange plot and underlying mystery, every performance adds to the unease and the tension, the suspicion, and the sense that something's always just a little bit off. And the way it shifts into the tone is what really caught me off guard. It doesn't announce the horror, it just kind of settles in until you realize you've been tense without even noticing. The real surprise though is how the horror comes through tone instead of jump scares. I went in expecting something closer to a mystery or psychological thriller, but instead it leans into the atmosphere and the tension. It builds this creeping unease that sits with you and it doesn't leave. And once it hits, it hits. Visually, the movie is stunning. The cinematography plays with distance, wide shots that make you feel isolated, then tight framing that traps you with the characters, and the sound design, it almost weaponizes silence, no pun intended. Instead of jump scares, the movie uses distant hums, quiet rooms, and long pauses to make you feel like something's always just like about to happen. It keeps you waiting for the moment that never comes, which somehow makes it even more unsettling. And because it builds so much tension so slowly, you naturally expect that all of it is heading towards something huge, some kind of moment where everything crashes together, which leads into one part of the movie that didn't totally work for me. There's one thing that held Weapons back for me personally, it's the ending. It's good, satisfying even, but it doesn't quite pay off the build-up the story promises. You can feel the tension climbing for 2 hours, and while the final stretch is insane with the kids chasing the ant, jumping out the doorways and out the windows and chasing her, it really works. It just doesn't pay off the way you'd expect after everything that came before it. It's not bad, it's just not how it expected, and that's fine. But part of me wanted a different ending, and I don't know what that would have been. It didn't quite land perfectly for me. And here's the thing, I really liked Weapons, but I didn't love it in the same way everyone else seems to. It's well made and insanely interesting, but it never quite hit the way I wanted it to. Maybe that's because of the hype, or maybe because I went in expecting something else entirely. Either way, it's one of those movies where you can recognize how good it is, but still feel a little disconnected. That being said, there were moments where the performances pulled me back in. There are looks, pauses, quiet reactions where you can feel everything the characters aren't saying. Those moments worked, they lingered, and I'll say this, even with my mixed feelings, Weapons did make me feel something, and I think that's actually worth mentioning. If I had to pick one moment that really stayed with me, it wasn't a big reveal or a sudden twist. It was just a quiet scene, no dialogue, no dramatic music, just a camera holding on a character sitting in silence. Nothing is happening on the surface, but you can feel everything underneath. The regret, the confusion, the heaviness. It's the kind of scene where the movie stops trying to explain itself and just lets you feel the weight of the moment. And that's when it clicked for me. Weapons isn't interested in jump scares or shock value. It's interested in discomfort, the kind that makes you sit with yourself, or it's the kind that just makes you feel uneasy throughout the movie. Weapons isn't trying to scare you in a traditional way. It builds atmosphere instead of spectacle, and even though the story doesn't come together perfectly, the mood definitely does. The film knows exactly what emotional space it wants to be in, and it stays there. Patient, quiet, unsettling. It's the kind of movie that rewards you if you're willing to slow down with it. Not everyone is going to like that, and that's okay. Some people just like movies like It, where it's just insane, in your face horror, to each their own. But if you do like this kind of horror movie, it's the kind of experience that lingers with you. So yeah, Weapons wasn't the horror movie I expected, and honestly, I'm not sure if I love it, but I respect what it's doing. It's quiet, slow, and heavier than it looks, and even though the ending didn't land the way I hoped, there are moments in this movie that I really liked. It's not perfect, but I feel like it left something behind. It didn't quite get there for me. I really hope you guys can take my opinion and not just think I'm being overly critical about the movie, just kind of take it as like an objective at like face value. I liked some of the movie. I liked actually a lot of the movie. It's just the ending. It's wild, but it didn't land for me. So try not to hate it too much if you love this movie. I'm not just trying to shit on it. It's just, I guess I just had higher expectations. It's one of those movies where your experience could be completely different from mine. Some people are going to connect with the atmosphere and pacing instantly. Others are going to be waiting for something louder or clearer. Either reaction makes sense, and that's kind of what I appreciate. And that's part of the reason why I like movies. It's subjective. You like it, you don't like it. It's all based on your own opinion. And with that being said, thank you for watching today's review. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe. I'll be dropping a new video every single day this month for my 25 days of Christmas movie marathon. Tomorrow's review is a big one, and trust me, you don't want to miss it. In the meantime, feel free to check out yesterday's video if you haven't already, and as always, stay curious and let's keep the conversation going.